Today we are going to learn about putting percents into the decimal form. So let's start out by putting 16% out in word form. So as you can see, 16% written out in word form is 16 per cent. So using what you already know about numbers, what is another word for cent? You're right. Another word for cent is hundred. So it actually can be written out 16 per 100. And again, I'm going to ask you to use your brain and take one moment and try to write out in number form 16 per 100. All right, I'll go ahead and write it out with you. 16 per 100, written out in number form, makes us a fraction of 16 over 100. So to get that into a decimal form, you do long division. And this long division is going to be a little bit tough, but me being your teacher, I trust that you guys know how to do it. So we're going to do the division sign first. And 100 is going to go on the outside of the bracket. And 16 will go inside of the bracket. Now, since 100 does not go into 16 any times, we'll put a 0 in there. 100 does not go into 16 any times, we will put a 0 up there. So how are we going to make 100 go into 16? You're right, we move the decimal place over, add a 0. How many times does 100 go into 160? That's right, just one time. And so 1 times 100 is 100. And now we start doing our subtraction. 0, 6, and 0. Now, since 100 does not go into 60 any times again, we need to move the decimal place over one more time. Right there. We're going to draw an arrow down, and we'll put a 0 there. 100 goes into 600 how many times? 6. So we'll write 16. And that's 600. And we'll end up with nothing. So since we have no longer a denominator to divide by, we need to move our decimal place back 2 spaces. Because since we moved it forward 2 spaces, it needs to go right back on our final number. So there's our decimal right here. And we're going to go back 2 places. And that will leave us with 0.16. And now, if you notice, this is the tenths place, this is the hundredths place. So it is 16 hundredths. So let's just recap. 16% can be written as 16%, 16 over 100, or 16 hundredths with our decimal place right in front. Thank you so much, and rewatch the video if you have any other questions.